Hey, Motorman here. Heck of a way to start a video, you gotta admit. But let's go back to the beginning. Let me tell you what we had. This past Sunday at our Ride Like a Pro class. We're gonna go back to the beginning here now. Notice this rider. He's on a, let's say, Yamaha 1000 naked bike or sport bike. Did a great job. We had vastly different riders. We had one rider, this one you see coming up here, and that's the one who later dumped the bike. And she is trying to get onto the motor squad in her state, and she needed sort of a refresher, and she wanted to know what it would take if I thought she had the potential to make it through motor school. Now, we had some riders in the class, like this rider here, that picked it up almost immediately, practiced before they got there, did excellent. Here's the offset cone weave. This rider on a BMW, it's an RT 1200, did a very good job. He had some inconsistencies, but did an excellent job. And the rider coming up behind, again, he's on a Harley Davidson Softtail Slim. He practiced prior to getting to the class. Did a great job. We had some other riders that, well, the class was way too advanced for them, so we took them aside and did some simpler exercises. But here comes a female who's trying to get on the motor squad, and she's doing okay. She's has some problems. She's practiced. Unfortunately, she has a Sportster to practice on, so that's the only way she could do it on her own. So she wanted to come to the class and see what it was like to ride the Road King through these exercises. And she told me to be as tough on her as I possibly could. In other words, be very critical. And believe me, that's what I did, because in motor school, they're not going to go easy on you. This rider on the Yamaha is doing fantastic. He's been riding for 6 months. He's a 19-year-old kid. You're going to meet him a little bit later on. And this is my wife, Donna. She's on my Triumph Bobber. She had never ridden the bike before. She's going through the offset cone weave here. You're seeing it now from ground level. And I wanted to show you this because she knows the techniques, head and eyes, friction zone, little pressure on the rear brake, and she knows how to use them. So though she hates to do this to get on a different type of motorcycle, I put her on the Bobber and sent her through the course, and she did a great job. No problem at all. And again, here's my wife, Donna. She's demonstrated the intersection exercise for the riders. We usually go through these exercises at least 2 or 3 times to show the riders what they should be doing and how the techniques apply as you're performing these exercises. She always does a great job. She's back on her regular bike, so she's not nervous at all.
Head straight out. That's all there is to it.
After the demonstration, of course, the riders go through the exercise, running the entire intersection. This rider's on a Softtail Slim. I think it's a 2020. Nice size motorcycle. It's a heavyweight cruiser for sure, but handles very well. And this rider practiced prior to getting to the class. And here we have the young lady coming through. Now, her main problem was occasionally she would release power, and that would cause her problems. Once you release power to the rear wheel, the bike could go down. In the next segment, you're going to hear that.
10 miles an hour is hard. 10 miles an hour is easy. Tough at 3 or 4 miles an hour, Brooke.
Now, this young man has only been riding for 6 months. I know it's hard to believe, but that's the case. He's not perfect, but he's practiced the techniques to where he is almost perfect. He's as close as you're going to get in 6 months, no question about that, and far superior to riders who've been riding for many, many years but never practiced the proper techniques. I even told him here to see if he can get his figure 8 down to 2 parking spaces wide by 2 parking spaces long. That would be motor officer size, and he almost makes it. A little bit more practiced, and I'm sure he can do it. In fact, he gets so good. You're gonna meet him in just a minute, and I'm gonna put him on the Electroglide, a bike he's never ridden before, but not a problem for him because he knows the techniques and he knows they work on every single motorcycle.
All right, pull into the next one. Find that X. All the way over. Turn your head.
right, next one over here. Over here. Use all the space you have available. You're cutting yourself about 4 to 5 feet short. Now watch carefully, because it's not often you're going to see a spectacular drop like this one. She's constantly in and out with the power to the rear wheel. She releases power, feels like the bike's going to tip over. She accidentally pops the clutch out, and the bike goes down. Thankfully, it's equipped with motorcycle drop guards, so there was zero damage to the bike, and she's just fine. These are the motorcycle drop guards. It covers the front, the rear, and the bottom of the primary. With these on your motorcycle, even with a spectacular drop like the one you just saw, zero damage to the motorcycle. None at all. Now here's Jesse, the 19-year-old I told you about, been riding for a total of 6 months, never on a Harley in his life. And I put him on my wife's bike so that nobody could say, oh, he was on a little bike, that's why he was so good. No, it's the technique. It works on every motorcycle. Normally he rides that sport bike, 1000cc Yamaha, which of course probably weighs under 500 pounds, but it doesn't matter. He has no fear. He knows the techniques. It's amazing what you can do with technique and a very low fear level. And that's what he's got, is very low fear level. Fear is what holds most people back. And if you think I'm crazy letting somebody on that bike, well, it's equipped with the motorcycle drop guard, so if he dropped it, nothing would happen. Tell the folks your name.
Jesse.
Jesse, how long you been riding?
About 6 months now.
6 months? And which did you find it easier to do these type of maneuvers, this bike or the Harley?
I'd say probably this bike.
Why? Because it's lighter?
It's lighter, and those are, I feel like they're a lot more top heavy almost, but it's just a lot more to move on that bike.
But you did fine. So you proud of yourself?
Yeah.
I'm proud of you. You did great. If you ever wanted to become a motor officer, you become a deputy cop, go to an agency that's got a motor squad, because you'll pass it in 2 days.
Yeah.
Yes, you will. No fear. That's what holds people back, is fear. Now we move on to the snowman. So many people fear this exercise. What we have is 3 circles. The first one is 30 feet to the left. The next one is 26 feet to the right.
There's room for error in this first one. Now there's less room.
And the last one is 24 feet to the left. The trick to it is to look for only those 2 green cones in each circle. If you look at the cone right in front of you, you're going to hit it.
But you could all do it.
It happens every time.
Next victim. Jesse.
Over here.
Next green one.
I'll move my thing over. Next. Only looking for the green. Use all the space you got. Look for the other green one. Cut yourself a little short, it's okay here. Turn your head. Look in the next circle now. Use all the space you got. Green, next green. Next green, turn your head. Oh, a foot down, cone down. If you think I'm being hard on this girl here, wait till she gets to motor school. That's it, good, keep power. Keep that power going. No, you just let off, keep it up. Now you looked where you shouldn't be looking. Get back in here, do over. So what's this young lady's chances of passing motor school? Well, I'd say it's about 96%. Now, a third of the riders wash out of motor school. It's the toughest training they put police officers through, but this young lady has got determination. She's got 10 days of motor school, 10 hours a day, and they are going to be brutal. They don't take any excuses, but I think she can do it. We're going to find out. Till next time.